It's another gorgeous fall afternoon here in Eagan, Minnesota for boys high school varsity soccer. Tonight's matchup is the visiting Apple Valley Eagles and your Eagan Wildcats. My name is Skip Newton. Joined with me is my broadcast partner, Nathan Cron. Nathan, the Wildcats come in already having clinched the South Suburban Conference. The only thing left is to find out what seed they are in Section 3. Is that really a matter of doubt at this point?
It's a poorly kept secret in Section 3-3A that the Eagan Wildcats boys high school soccer team will be the #1 seed when the section pairings come out next week. There's no question. Their record is substantial. They've played some very tough teams very well. They've taken care of business within the section. There's no reason to believe they'll have anything but a #1 seed. On the other hand, the Apple Valley Eagles have a lot to play for tonight. They have the opportunity to maybe get a 3 seed, maybe a 4 seed, certainly a home playoff game for the Eagles, which will be very good for them, but maybe a chance to even climb up a little bit higher, depending on how things go and how things fall tonight with Rosemount and some of the other teams in the section. So everything to play for these Eagles.
Yeah, absolutely. And they know that going into sections, regardless of what seed they end up, more than likely, if they're going to want to get to the state tournament, they're going to have to go through these Eagan Wildcats, which means a good showing here today could give them some confidence going into sections. Of course, they come in with an 8-win, 3-draw, 4-loss overall record, 5th in the conference with 12 points. They're 4 wins and 4 losses in the conference. Again, the Wildcats already conference champs, 7 wins and a loss. They're 12-1-1 overall, ranked 4th in the state. So it's been an outstanding regular season once again in the 3rd season for Coach Josue Butili. This is his 2nd conference title in 3 years. However, we've talked about this in previous broadcasts. He has yet to see postseason success. I got to believe that anything short of a state tournament appearance would feel disappointing at this point.
It would. It will certainly be disappointing to the players, to the coaching staff, and to the fans, the close supporters, the parents and fans here in Eagan that they're not going farther in the playoffs. At the same time, I suspect that the coaching staff wants to keep these boys focused on take care of business that's right in front of you. Last year, for instance, when the boys team got bounced by Bloomington Jefferson in the quarterfinals, you get a sense that maybe they were looking to next week or to next game. Maybe they were overlooking an opponent that had given them a little bit of trouble earlier in the regular season. So for these boys, the key is to focus on exactly what's happening today, live in the moment now, and don't worry about things that you can't control.
Yeah, it's a great point. They want to stay sharp, they want to stay healthy, and they want to just keep the confidence and keep the good play rolling. It is senior night here at Wildcat Stadium, so we will have the boys' senior night at halftime of this first game, and then the girls' senior night before that second game of our doubleheader. The kickoff has been taken by the visiting Eagles. They're wearing white going left to right. The Wildcats wearing their home blues going right to left. There is a significant breeze also heading right to left across your screen, so we'll monitor how that might play a factor in tonight's contest. As always, the goalkeeper, Zach Rojas, he's got the ball right now. Sion Tapa on that back line on the far side. Got John Tesdall, one of the center backs, along with Noel Eddy. And then on the near side, senior number 12, Ryder Brandner. Early opportunity here for the Wildcats, and they score! The first minute, Oliot blasted home. Can't even get through the starting lineup. We talked about staying sharp. Check.
Well, Owen Gentilla did a great job of taking that ball from Noel off his chest, controlling the ball. He took a handful of touches around the side and slid it across. Oliot made great positioning at the back post. And like you said, Skip, we're not even a minute into this match, and already the Wildcats have struck.
Outstanding play there by the Wildcats. Getting their first goal early, that's a great start. The Wildcats have jumped out to leads in almost all of their matches this season, and I do believe they are a team that plays better with the lead. They seem to gain confidence, and they're like sharks, sensing blood in the water, where they don't just get content with the one goal. They want more. Wildcats trying to answer quickly here. Ball just got away from number 19 there, unable to get a shot.
Zion Oliot, the assist to number 6, Owen Gentilla. In the first minute of the game, the time of the goal is 44 seconds.
do not have a number for 19, so not really sure who that is, unfortunately.
Wildcats. Repeating, the Wildcats goal scored by Zan Olia. The assist, Owen Gentilla. The time, 44 seconds.
And a foul here on the Eagles.
Free kick for the Wildcats. After the Apple Valley foul, free kick will be taken by John Tesla, number 24.
Important for the Wildcats to not only, as you said, Skip, start fast, but work in a few players that are still coming back from injury, like the Asher Brunettes of the world. Give them an opportunity to get a little bit of additional field time, a few additional minutes to make sure that they've worked out the kinks, have got the muscle memory back. Because, like you said, a long playoff run is certainly what this team expects.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the goal. I'm sure not just making the state tournament, but then seeing some success in there. The offside flag was delivered off of that cross by Tapa. He was looking for Eric Knoll. Knoll thought he had timed his run perfectly, just a little bit ahead of that. Opportunity here for Apple Valley. That was Hernandez Perez, but his pass is intercepted. Now we got Oliot once again offside. So 2 offside calls here in the last 30 seconds tells me that the back line of Apple Valley is more than willing to keep pushed up.
Free kick for the Eagles. Clock is up.
Eagles were looking for a yellow card caution on Oliot for kicking the ball away after the whistle blew. Probably referee stopped the clock. He's talking to the assistant. I certainly would not recommend Oliot do that kind of thing this early in the game. That's just unnecessary. A stern word from the center referee probably takes care of it. At least I thought it was Oliot. Might have been Sondag. But in any event, it doesn't look like we're going to see. We are going to see. Yep.
I think he was talking to Sondag as one of the co-captains.
Number 9, Zan Olia.
That's just a lack of mental discipline for Zayan Oliath. He needs to be, he needs to be smart. He needs to be composed, and that's just something that, again, there's nothing in it. He's not necessarily. I mean, look, there's 77 minutes left in the game. It's not like he's wasting time. So. But that's the kind of thing you just can't do, and he, as a younger player, needs to learn that.
And more importantly, as Graham Johnson comes in to take his place, he's now playing on a yellow card for the rest of the game, and he has to be extra cautious of not only avoiding something like that, but a hard foul. The last thing he wants going into section play is a red card. We should mention that the Wildcats, there's a foul. I don't know how they wouldn't call that one. But as I was going to say, there is actually one more game. Well, this is the final game of South Suburban play. The boys play tomorrow night against St. Thomas Academy. So one final tune-up before sections next week, which will start on Tuesday. And we are feeling optimistic that will be broadcast right here on Eagan TV.
All indications are that we will have it here on ETV, Skip. Hopefully we will have a nice long playoff run for both the boys and the girls.
Onside is Gentile, and he's got some speed. He goes into the penalty area, feeds it across, and a sliding Sondag can't make good on the pass. We almost saw a replay of goal number 1 coming from the same side, coming from the same player. Gentile creating scoring chances for his teammates.
Major kudos to Trey Schinke on the back line for the Eagles. That was, you had to hold your nerve there. Anything short of doing your job and getting in front of that ball, disrupting the flow of Sondag was going to be a goal, and he managed to pull it off. Sondag ended up on the turf, but there was no foul. So brilliant defense.
Gentile, far side. Prouty in the middle, goes long, and you see Eagan backtracking because he was in an offside position and knew it. Sondag pressuring there. So to complete the lineup, because we were unable to do so after that quick goal, of course, Oliot coming out of the game after the yellow and the goal score up front. Sondag as well as Juntilla, Eric Knoll, Miklo Jones, and Blake Prouty also in the middle. That completes the 11 for the Wildcats.
And it is senior night, as you said, Skip. I have to imagine that we will see all of the seniors get minutes and get some hopefully extended minutes.
Well, and can't speak for Coach Botilli. I did not talk to him about this, but if I were the coach, given that, like we've already discussed, not only have they clinched the South Suburban Conference, but probably clinched the #1 seed. As far as seeding goes, nothing to play for. Of course, we said we want to stay sharp, but I would love to see a big lead in the first half for my team, so I could make sure that some of my main major minute guys get a little rest going into tomorrow's match, but then also I can get as many seniors as many minutes as possible. Here's an opportunity for Apple Valley, 3-on-2, but that is quickly disrupted. Nice job defensively. Tesdahl with the foul. Not a bad one to take there. Just allowing the Wildcat defense to reset, and Prouty makes sure there's no delay by tossing that one to the referee.
Yeah, I think Blake Prouty. I think Blake remembers last year he got sent off with a red card, and one of those yellows making up that red was a little one of those delay the restart kind of fouls.
The back line of the Wildcats, including a couple of those midfielders, do an excellent job of winning balls out of the air on free kicks. With the exception of Tapa, they've got a ton of height back there, and they really do use that to their advantage. Far side, Hernandez plays it into the middle. Hernandez is the leading scorer. And we're going to have a penalty in the penalty area. This is not going to be...
So is he's calling a shielding violation for an indirect free kick?
Yes.
I got to tell you, I don't think this is the rule. I think the rule now, this should be a penalty because there was physical contact between I think it was Tapa and the offensive player. I think this is supposed to be a PK.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was Tapa or if that was Prouty or who. Yeah, it was interesting. As soon as it's touched, of course, Eagan crashes. Nice job by Eagan getting in there as quickly as possible. Sondag pressuring from behind really aggressively. And here's an opportunity for the Wildcats to counter if Knoll can get there in time. Just a step behind.
So I think honestly I think the Eagles were hard done there. Hard by done there because I think that's supposed to be a penalty. I think the guidance is as another foul against the Eagles, but I think the guidance is if you're shielding and there's no contact, then it's an indirect kick. But if they're shielding and there's a contact foul between two players, I think that's
contact is a direct.
Direct free kick foul. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I understood. I have to look that one up later.
Tesdahl with a big boom as always, looking for Juntilla. He brings it down. Nice touch in a free space. He leaves it for Tapa. Gets it back. Prouty, one touch. That pass is a little off its mark. And he will escort this one back to Rojas.
I like what the Eagles are doing here, Skip, in terms of their intensity. Their defensive intensity has not flagged since the early goal by Oliot. They're doing a good job of stepping up, stepping quickly, being physical, doing all the things that a team that's, on paper maybe not quite as talented, maybe not quite as fast, but needs to do to try to beat a team that's got the quality that Eagan has.
Tesdahl taking no chances there. Touches that one into touch. Olivo gets the throw, plays it back. It's crossed. Brandner heads that one, and another foul call. I don't know if these fouls are being called a little tight. It seems like a fast whistle, and that's something that if that's going to maintain itself throughout the game, these players are going to have to adjust a little bit. Nice job by Sondag and plays it over beautifully for Juntilla, but just a little far. Oh, the right idea, and he knew it too. That's a great job of not only winning that one in the air to space, but he knew exactly where he wanted to go with it. The touch just a little heavy on that pass.
Well, Martinez, the left back for the Eagles, has already struggled a little bit with Juntilla in terms of Juntilla's control and speed. So we'll see if he's able to adjust moving forward.
Nice patience there by Jones, waiting for the passing lane for Knoll. He's coming into the penalty area. He's got Sondag to his right, brings it back, shot, and a diving save. A nice one by Sanchez Cortez.
Sanchez Cortez for the Eagles.
His first save's a big one, and quick restart. Jones plays it in, deflected, out near the 18. That one will be cleared.
I have to say that Noel that had goal written all over it, didn't it? I mean, it's we've seen him do that so many times this season, and over the course of his career, just pull that ball to the inside, put it on his right foot, and pound it past the keeper. But like as you said, that was a nice save.
Noel leading the Wildcats in goals with 10 coming into this contest. The goal scorer, Oliot, now with 7 in second place by himself, and there are a couple others with 6, one with 5, so plenty of goal scorers on this team. Producing opportunities and finishing has not been a problem for the most part for the Wildcats, and that's something that's a big change from a season ago.
And the one loss that the Wildcats had against Prior Lake, that was their problem. As you say, finishing. Opportunity here for the Eagles. That's going to swerve wide, but for a goal kick. But that was the problem against Prior Lake. They had 10 times as many shots. They had shots on goal. They had scoring opportunities. They just couldn't put it past Prior Lake, and Prior Lake got one, and that's all you need. The Wildcats would love to play that team again.
Of course, if they do, that'll be in the state tournament. And they're off and running again. Sondag beats his man. Left foot shot. Cortez with the save.
That was a nice save by Cortez. Nice job of knocking that down, getting his hands behind it. Controlled the rebound. Nicely done.
So far, most of the pressure coming up the far side. This one going in, looked like Hernandez lost his footing as he went after that one. But as it is, Sondag's off to the races just a little far. It'll be an easy pickup there for Sanchez Cortez. And there's going to be one from behind. They're going to let it go. Advantage. Good call, or no call, I should say. Here's an opportunity. A shot wide.
The Apple Valley coaching staff, a little hands on head, like, oh my goodness gracious. But at the same time, it's if you're the Apple Valley players, if you have advantage, if you have possession of the ball and are in an attacking third, you definitely want to keep playing advantage rather than having a free kick from 50 yards out. It seems like a pretty reasonable thing.
Goal kick for the Wildcats from resumes.
I do wish that the center referees would give a slightly more vigorous signal for those of us who can't hear what they're saying out there in terms of play on or advantage. I'd love it if they gave us a slightly more vigorous signal. And again, the Apple Valley coaching staff still upset or not happy with where the referee went with that, but the referee saying that's enough, thank you very much, and Rojas will put it in play.
Got some substitutions coming in for Eagan after this, and got another foul called. I believe number 19 for the Eagles, not really sure what the call is.
Yeah, I'm not. He seems to be saying that somehow Jones was holding his jersey, I guess. But the tackle, Jones being tackled, and again, Miklo Jones not exactly a wilting violet, Skip Newton. So I mean, if you're going to tackle Miklo Jones to the turf, you've done the business.
Top of far side. Finds Prouty. He's double teamed. Can't get it to Gentilla. Turned over, but quickly back to the Wildcats. This is through Sondag. He's alone. Another great save. Sanchez Cortez doing everything he can to prevent this one from being a double-digit score or lead here for the Wildcats.
Rather amazing statistic, Skip Newton. By my unofficial statistics, the Wildcats have 4 shots on goal, and 4 shots, and all of them are on goal.
Yeah, that is not something you see, but it is important. I mean, it definitely increases your your chance of putting one in, and we saw one that didn't result in a shot, but that near one across that was just out of the reach of Sondag. Seems to be the only way so far that they're going to be able to get one past Sanchez Cortez back there, as he has been on the money when he's been able to keep it in front of him. He had no chance on the early goal. That goal scored in minute number 1. A gorgeous pass by Gentilla across, hit Zayan Oliat, and he just tapped it in from about 2 yards out. Sondag pressuring. Kiefer back there, nice play, gets it over to Caleb Genjang. Noel with the steal. He's going to take it himself. Switches to the left, the shot. And they're going to say that was deflected.
I think I might have jinxed the Wildcats. That was a shot, I think, arguably not on goal. So I think I jinxed them. As a commentator's curse, certainly.
It is a corner kick for the Wildcats.
A corner for the Wildcats, so they're second of the game.
First of the game from the near side.
Noel hooking one in. Oh, the Wildcats got there, but headed it the wrong direction. I wonder if the sun played a factor and he couldn't see it. Looking right into that setting sun behind us. There's an offside, easy one. But the entire Wildcat front line there was had not recovered yet from the corner kick.
Yeah, I would like to see, so from a flow standpoint, and all right, so I'm going to get in a little trouble here. I don't like criticizing the referees a whole lot, but I wish the assistant referee would just let that play on. Speaking of playing on, I wish he would just let that play on and let the game flow rather than raise his flag and cause us a restart. And the reason I say that is because obviously Johnson was obviously not going towards the ball. He wasn't clearly wasn't trying to.
All right. A little bit of technical issues here in the booth. We've taken care of that in the form of a aggressive bee on the window.
Production staff had to intervene.
Just getting into minute number 18 now. Miklo all alone is able to play that one to Noel.
And credit to the Eagles. They went down early against these Wildcats, but Skip, they haven't conceded another goal yet.
Oh, beautiful setup there. Brandner Sondag. Caleb Genjang closing distance in a hurry. Looks like he's got some speed. Noel, I think, had a handball in the box. And that is the call.
So handball before the physical contact. Noel saying, hey, maybe I could draw a penalty here, but no, handball first. And he knows, so he's going back to his position. I also like the way, notice how Noel has now moved to a center attacking mid position, and it looks like Gentilla has slid to the center forward position. I'll check it, that's Sondag, excuse me, 6 and 8 are from a distance. It's a little hard to read some of these numbers, but the way Sondag and Noel have effectively switched spots, I think that bodes well for the Wildcats, as we've said several times this season, their interchangeability.
Oliat back in the game. He's one of the guys going after this. This is onside. There's several Wildcats there. Unfortunately, Noel can't bring it down. Drops it for Oliat. He's going to play this one across. Eagles, nice job recovering there. Just took a little bit too much time there for the Wildcats. Noel was onside. He's brought down. He had his guy beat. He sensed the speed and was trying to use that to his advantage to get his opponent to go right by him, just outside the penalty area.
No, I think that's, and Genjang's going to be booked here. Genjang's going to be booked here. I think that's a good card to take. I mean, Noel was going to be off to the races, probably with a great scoring opportunity there. So I can't fault Genjang for reaching out and grabbing Noel and hauling him down. But he does create a sticky situation for the Eagles.
More than likely a play across here by Noel, and not a shot from this difficult angle. A 3-man wall forming in front.
Wouldn't break my heart to see somebody sneak in just to the right of him.
Yeah, there's a lot of space.
A lot of space.
Plays it low hard, and it's tipped, and it's in! And they're going to rule that the goalkeeper had a hand on it, or is it an offside flag? It's an offside flag.
Wildcats were offside. Indirect free kick.
So no goal.
No goal. Offside Wildcats.
That one will be an interesting one when we have an opportunity to look back on it. If we had the ETV truck here, we might have been able to pull a replay.
Substitutions.
But that was interesting.
Number 13,
I don't know how. It's hard to see. It's hard to see how they were offside if Knoll is playing the ball from basically the goal line. It's hard to see how they would be offside, but obviously the assistant referee has a better view than we do.
Yeah, either they were lined up offside before the kick and never got into the right position, or there's an aggressive shove from behind, or they just moved too fast before the ball was kicked.
On the positive side for the Wildcats, how about the curve on that ball from Knoll, though?
Yeah, it was a great delivery, and it was a great job getting in there and just tipping it enough to get it past Adrian Sanchez-Cortez, the goalkeeper, who's so far had an outstanding first half. Should also mention that while he's had an outstanding first half, the attacking seven, if you will, continuously putting pressure on, and not just putting pressure on, but creating multiple goal-scoring opportunities, at least one or two of which have to be the back line of Apple Valley's playing very aggressively high. And while that's helping them with an offside call, several, it's also leading to breakaway opportunities.
Yeah, the back line's been a bit exposed when the Wildcats have got it right. And I think if you're the Eagles, though, so far it seems to be working for you. It seems to be working for you, so you stick with it. It's a risky play, perhaps, but you stick with it. I guess the way to look at it is: is our defense good enough and athletic enough to run with this Wildcat attack for the next 80 minutes, 75 minutes, whatever it is? And if it's going to break down eventually, might as well roll the dice and try something different.
And there's an offside. He was definitely past the last defender when that ball was delivered and then came back. The AR on this side doing the correct job of waiting just long enough, making sure that he touched the ball first. That's how it's supposed to be called.
Well, I mean, obviously, Skip, we don't want, a forward who's coming in an offside position to clatter into the goalie or have some sort of issue there or anything like that. Clearly we want to keep kids safe, but at the same time, from a flow standpoint, if you see a player give up on the ball like he knows he's in an offside position, if you're the assistant referee and it's clear that the keeper is going to get the ball, just keep your flag down.
Yep, absolutely. Asher Brunette has checked into the game, playing one of the center back positions, replacing Noel Eddy over near the far side. Apple Valley, nice move into the middle. That'll be a foul.
Five fouls against the Wildcats, 6 against the Eagles by my count. That's about one every minute, Skip, and that means we have a choppy game.
Doesn't stop the clock, but it does stop play. And like you've mentioned a couple times already, and here's an opportunity for Apple Valley. Not sure how the Wildcats didn't play it, but looks like we have a offside stoppage again. A lot of free kicks in this game so far, the first 23 minutes.
Yeah, I'm not sure why the Wildcats didn't get to that either. The assistant referee may have saved the Wildcats' blushes there as the offside flag came up.
Oh, nice pass. And that one into touch before Branner could get there. Also in the game, Darius Knox was hot on the tails of that ball, unfortunately. Again, called back just into touch on the near side. This will be thrown in by Santiago Olivo. Check that, he's yielding to his defensive teammate, Benjamin Torgerson.
Okay.
Olivo tried to flick that one on. Ray Martinez plays that. Tapa goes high, gets bodied off it by DeLuca. DeLuca goes down. Bangs it off of DeLuca for a throw-in. And we're going to have substitutions, one for each team.
No lady number 22 back in, going off is Coach Crowdy, number 21.
Glad to see Axelrod back on the pitch. Skip, you'll remember the last game, home game that we called. Axelrod was not on the pitch, but Hannon Axelrod out there again, number 7 for the Wildcats. So that's nice to see.
And we did get the answer. Number 19 is the aforementioned second number 12 that we had on our roster. So that is Diego Rincon Nova. So that mystery has been solved. Thank you to public address announcer Dave. This is Snyder trying to find Rincon Nova. A player went down and surprisingly no call.
I think Noel had earned. I think he earned a foul there,
especially given the nature of what we've seen so far. Called.
Yes.
Nice step up. Oh, unfortunately, Axelrod didn't play that. I think had he met that one, it would have created a better opportunity, but nice job there by Brandner of not only stepping up and intercepting that pass, but did a really nice job of touching it over to Axelrod. As you said, Axelrod missed the last home game. It was back Monday night at Eastview. A 3-0 Wildcat victory.
Another foul against the Eagles. That's number 7 against them. It's just been between, we've had 5 offside calls and 14 fouls between the two teams. That's a lot.
If this were a basketball game, the Wildcats would be getting close to the double bonus. Brandner. Very aggressive pressure there by DeLuca, another player that looks like he's got some speed. Olivo as well, so clearly the Eagles being told they need to put some pressure on that back line. Here's Knox, if he can get there, throws a shoulder, left foot shot. Knox got under it.
That was I have to say, Skip, that was a very meat and potatoes challenge by Knox. What a good job of using his shoulder. Firm challenge, tough challenge, fair challenge, and created the scoring opportunity. And we've seen Knox put that on frame before. Love the shot. What I love better, the challenge.
A rare goal kick. As we've said earlier, most of the shots, one went in, the rest saved, or a couple resulted in corners. Axelrod touches that one forward. Nobody home for the Wildcats, but Oliot pressuring enough to force the throw in the Wildcat favor. Back to Tapa. Played that one to himself, but lost it. Jones almost dispossessed. Eddie goes down, brings Nova down with him. Play resumes. Or does it?
Foul against the Wildcats. Their 6th foul. And again, the Apple Valley coaching staff, I have to say, demonstrative in the technical area. Wildcat coaching staff also pacing in the technical area. So perhaps the physical the physical conflict between these two teams getting the coach's attention.
It's possible that the head referee, Brian Kohler, if both coaches are upset, maybe that means at least you're calling it fair.
Yes. As we said, Skip, these Eagles, a win or a draw here would be massive in their bid for something other than a 4 seed. They might get a 3 seed. They might get, again, depending on what happens tonight in other places around the South Suburban Conference, they might even have an argument for a 2 seed if they somehow win tonight. So big game for these Eagles. So far, Wildcats holding serve.
Tried to cross for Axelrod, but couldn't get under that one enough. Oh, a nice tackle there by Brandner, and gets it again. Still battling, plays it forward. Nobody home, but good effort there by Brandner from the back line. Oh, and nice pass over to Knoll. He's going to feed it through just too far for Axelrod. Dominic Taylor leaving Apple Valley in Jordi Ariano Hernandez.
And while there's not much suspense here for the Wildcats in terms of their conference title hopes or their section seeding, there certainly is for the Wildcat girls. The girls almost certainly have locked up a #1 seed in Section 3-3A, but their conference title hopes a bit muddy as the Lakeville North Panthers and Lakeville South Cougars playing tonight at Lakeville North. And the Lakeville South Cougars, the only conference team to beat these Wildcats, the Wildcat girls, they are playing, they have their big rivalry game against North, and the two teams are tied with 5 wins in the conference and each a draw and each a loss. So we'll be monitoring that as that game starts around 7 o'clock.
Center referee stops the clock.
He's stopping this one to have a conversation with the two boys, and I think it's of the nature of, all right, guys, my lungs and lips are getting tired from blowing the whistle. Maybe we should take it down a notch.
Both teams have 7 fouls now, by my count. And a yellow or red card filled game is the worst possible prescription for both of these teams. Neither team needs a series of yellow cards or red cards heading into sections.
At this time, we'll ask the parents who will be participating in the senior night ceremony.
And you could make an argument for both teams, but I think especially for the Wildcats, given that, as we've discussed, they've already locked things up. If they get a player on a yellow, maybe he sits the rest of the game. I mean, there is another tune-up game tomorrow right back here at Wildcat Stadium, so it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to just play it extra cautiously, avoid the incidental red card.
Well, we've seen Oliot back out, and here's an opportunity for the Eagles. A little dangerous until Brantner sends that to safety, but I believe it was Brantner, number 12, yep. But Oliot's been back on the pitch. So he's come back on the pitch on a yellow card. So clearly coaching staff for the Wildcats thinking that Oliot needs to be out there, needs to get some time, a few minutes, needs to make a few runs.
I have to believe the competitiveness is definitely there. The Wildcats want to win the game, want to finish strong in the conference. So it might not be until midway through the second half when we start to see some substitutions last longer, especially if the Wildcats can put a couple more tallies on the board. As it is, we're still 1-0 after that opening minute goal. Zan Oliot getting on the sheet early.
I don't think that you and I, Skip, thought this was going to be a 1-0 score at halftime 1 minute into the game, did we?
No, and especially with the great scoring chances that the Wildcats have been able to put together. I mean, if it wasn't for the play of goalkeeper Adrian Sanchez-Cortez, this game is easily 3-0. Made a couple of very nice saves.
I want to say thanks to all of you watching from Apple Valley, South Dakota, Lakewood Ranch, Florida, or parts unknown. Thanks for joining us here on ETV. It's good to have you with us.
Number 9 for the Eagles.
It's possible the referee just wants to give the boys some extra set piece practice. Mission accomplished. Axelrod pressured from behind. Tough ball to control there. Played it safe. I think a wise decision. Oh, that touches right to Knox, and then here come the Wildcats. They're quickly trying to add players into the pitch. A pass across, nicely defended. Can Axelrod get there? Nice defense, and a good job avoiding the corner as well. Eagles defense up to the challenge there on the backside. Big throw into the penalty area. That one's headed towards the goal. Far corner to goal! Oh, a brilliant header off of Darius Knox. The throw-in assist to Axelrod, and we have goal number 2 for the Wildcats.
Well, the Wildcats started this game fast. They seem to be ending the half just the same way. That was the kind of goal that if you're the Wildcats and you keep working hard, you keep hustling and sharing the ball, things like that are going to happen. You see a real frustration there for the Eagles, their back line, their keeper, really frustrated with that one. It was I would say innocent looking, because any ball towards the net is potentially dangerous, but it sure didn't have that this ball's going in kind of look to it. Almost kind of like it was almost like a curve ball. It doesn't look scary, but when it breaks the right way, it can be really tough.
For the Eagan Wildcats, number 3,
Darius Knox with just a perfect header off the throw-in from Axelrod. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that is not an easy header to redirect that one into the corner like he did, which is pretty much the only place he could put that where it was going to go in. His back is, he's facing the throw, so his back is not is to the target, and was able to angle that one perfectly in the right direction. Just a well-placed header. Great finish there for the Wildcats in goal number 2. Knox now has 7 goals to tie Oliot for second place. Here comes Axelrod. He plays this one across right away, and I think that's going to get there by the Wildcats. Somehow, some way, Oliot got there first. I'm not entirely sure. There must have been a communication breakdown there, because that looked like that was going to be an easy play for Sanchez.
Yeah, Cortez is supposed to call him off there. He's supposed to be screaming, and frankly it's reminiscent of another play here, where the Apple Valley Eagles ended up at the wrong end of a last-second goal by Melvin Kamara in the last handful of seconds a few years ago. That was where the keeper thought the defense was going to get it, the defense thought the keeper was going to get it, and Melvin Kamara sneaks in for a game winner for the Wildcats to beat the Eagles that year here in the regular season. So it was, that's what it looked like to me, Skip.
I do remember that goal. It was a last-second goal to win the game when you thought the draw was absolutely going to be the final result, as Harley Gray has checked in. You saw him on the ball there. This is Graham Johnson, another 4-on-4 break. He's going to play it across, looking for Knox. Knox has to come back for that one. It was deflected. Tapa's up from defense, wins it clean. Teammates get onside. We have a flag up, not for an offside call, but for a foul.
Now, is this foul? Assistant referee and center referee are talking. Is this foul against the Eagles? It is. Is it in the penalty area? And the answer is no, it's not. So Tapa was fouled, but the foul started outside the penalty area. He landed well inside the penalty area, Skip, and the referee's saying, nope, this is not a penalty. It is a free kick for the Wildcats.
You can see it's maybe a yard off the corner there. And he plays it back. It's going to be 2. This is going to be Sian Tapa playing this one into the box, over the head of Noel Eddy, and I think a little communication there by the Wildcats. He had a teammate right behind him that would have had a much easier opportunity to slam that one home.
Well, as you say, Skip, the Wildcats with a lot of practice with these set-piece plays, and Wildcats certainly have looked dangerous in their set-piece offerings, and so, that bodes well for the Wildcats heading into the playoffs.
Hard line drive, goal kick. Colin Bray, just a sophomore midfielder into the game, number 10. Grant Paulson, senior defender, in. That one's thrown over his head. Played across by Shinke, and Rojas comes off his line to catch that one here in minute number 38. Once again, just a reminder to stick with us. Halftime will be senior night.
Corner coming up here for the Wildcats. I wonder if the Wildcats might try to take this one quickly. The defense for,
Pickup coming for the Wildcats.
it's not a goal kick, it's a corner kick.
Yeah, it was headed off the
Why
Eagles defender. I'm not sure
why
what's-
does Cortez going for a ball? He's very clearly off of I don't know if he was genuinely confused or if that was just brilliant time wasting to allow his defense to get back. Either way, it worked for him.
I believe that's Axelrod on the far side, looking into the sun, in swinger. Torre Valencia on the back post. Sanchez Cortez takes that one out of the air. Tesdall can't win that one, but he stays in a good defensive position. Schinke plays it across. That should not be a call. He was leaning, and the defender just pulled away, and he fell down. That's a great eye there by the center ref. This one's offside by about 5 yards.
Wildcats offside.
Yeah, the referee, center referee, not going to be fooled by that. I have to also tell you that one of the other things, as you watch these games, folks, if you see a player's arms go up into the air, there's a chance, a slightly larger chance that they're just looking to go to ground, and they're not really being fouled or being fouled with any force.
Remaining in the first half. 1 minute.
And our final minute of the first half here, Apple Valley finds themselves in a 2-0 hole, trying to get perhaps a last-minute goal here to cut that deficit in half. Wildcats would rather just add a third one on, but Knox would have need to show flash-like speed to win that one. Nice job by Paulson heading that one back as we're down to the final 30 seconds. Mason Axelrod checking into the game, played that one there, and he's chasing this one now, working together with Brunette. Brunette, nice communication, splits the defenders. I believe Cortez Valencia was on, doesn't matter. One moves around for Torgerson.
Yeah, I think the Eagles will be happy to go into halftime down to 2 goals and say, okay, we haven't played terribly. We've had a few opportunities, but haven't quite been as deadly as we need to be in the attacking third. Our defense is, like you said, Skip, it's on a knife's edge. You know, it's risky. You know, does it work? Does it not work? How's it going to work? So far, the Wildcats have put a lot of pressure on the back line of the Eagles. Eagles still have the ability to climb back into this game, though. Some adjustments at halftime, most likely.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to figure out a way to put some more pressure on. I have them down with one shot here in the first half, so that's something that's going to need to change if they're going to climb back into this one. As it is, the Wildcats with a 2-0 lead, goal scored in minute number 1. Zayan Oliat, great pass across from number 6, Owen Gentilla, and then in minute number 34, goal scored off a header, Darius Knox, the throw-in by Hannon Axelrod. Those are the 2 goals, and we are now at halftime. Stick with us. We're going to turn this over to Dave, the public address announcer, as we celebrate our seniors here on Senior Night.
plans after high school. He's going to be an FBI agent. Number 3, Darius Knox. Number 7, Rahim Qureshi. Parents, Abdul and Nabila. His favorite high school soccer memory, the bus rides to away games. His plans after high school, to go into medicine and become a doctor. Number 7, Rahim Qureshi. Number 8, Captain Jake Sondag. His parents are Sarah and Mike. His favorite high school soccer memory is beating number 2 ranked Minnetonka his junior year and beating the conference leader Eastview his sophomore year. His plans after high school, working towards a degree in college and playing club soccer. Number 8, Jake Sondag. Number 10, Miklo Jones. His parents, Deanna and Lloyd. His favorite high school soccer memory, he says, winning games. His plans after high school are to attend college. Number 10, Miklo Jones. Also number 10, Pranava Kadambi. His parents, Jenny and Kalyan. His favorite high school soccer memory is scoring a hat trick versus Rosemount his freshman year. Plans after high school are to attend college for engineering and play college soccer. Number 10, Pranava Kadambi. Number 12, Ryder Brandner. Parents, Sarah and Bo. His favorite high school soccer memory, all the pasta feeds and end-of-season parties. Plans after high school are to attend college for aviation. Number 12, Ryder Brandner. Number 12, also Brian Ortiz. His mother, Daisy Ruiz. Favorite high school soccer memory for Brian is playing soccer with the boys. Plans after high school are to attend college. Number 12, Brian Ortiz. Number 13, Harley Gray. His parents, Scott Gray and Sarah Dimmick Gray. His favorite high school soccer memory, going to Jack Marsh's mansion for a pasta feed. His plans after high school are to go to college for physics and play club soccer. Number 13, Harley Gray. Number 14, Captain Asher Brunette. His parents, Sarah and David. His favorite high school soccer memory, beating Minnetonka 1-0 his junior year. Plans after high school, he says, join the trades. Number 14, Captain Asher Brunette. Number 15, Danielle Gutierrez. Parents, Carlos and Maria. His favorite high school soccer memory, playing indoor soccer. Plans after high school are to attend college and go into construction. Number 15, Daniel Gutierrez. Number 17, Canuthia. Parents, Sylvie Tamfu and Dennis Canuthia. Favorite high school soccer memory is scoring his first goal in his sophomore year and his teammates surrounding him to celebrate. His plans after high school, get into IT and work remotely. Number 17, Canuthia. Number 20, Grant Paulson. His parents, Michelle and Mark. His favorite high school soccer memory, he says his first yellow card during the homecoming game. Plans after high school are to attend college. Number 20, Grant Paulson. Also number 20, Manuel Moreno. His parents, Ana Luisa Moreno Ramirez. His favorite high school soccer memory is practice and the opportunity to learn a little more every day. His plans after high school are to work and practice other activities like biking and going to the gym. Number 20, Manuel Moreno. Number 21, Captain Blake Prouty. His parents, Christian and Kirsten. His favorite high school soccer memory is defeating Eastview his sophomore year and number 2 ranked Minnetonka his junior year. Plans after high school are to further his athletic career and play NCAA sports as well as work towards a degree. Number 21, Captain Blake Prouty. And number 22, Noel Eddy. His parents, Leanne and Dean. His favorite high school soccer memory, every JV practice with Micah and the team. His plans after high school are to become an electrician. Number 22, Noel Eddy. As our seniors and their families continue the journey towards graduation next June, let's thank them with a round of applause for the contributions they have made to Eagan High School and to the Eagan Wildcats boys soccer program. Good luck, seniors, in all of your future endeavors. Congratulations to the Eagan Wildcats boys soccer class of 2025. You have so much to be proud of. Thank you all for helping us celebrate this very special evening. Congratulations.
campus of Eagan High School. It's Minnesota State Boys High School Soccer, where your Eagan Wildcats have a 2-0 lead at halftime over the visiting Apple Valley Eagles. My name is Skip Newton, joined by my broadcast partner, Nathan Cron. As always, Nathan, it was a fairly dominating first half. The statistics say 13 to now 4 shots on goal. I'm not sure where those 4 shots for Apple Valley came from, but it was not only 13 shots for the Wildcats, but many what I would call high quality scoring chances.
High quality scoring opportunities that the Wildcats were not able to take advantage of because of some great goalkeeping play by the Apple Valley goalkeeper Adrian Sanchez Cortez. But eventually, if you keep putting shots on net, if you keep working hard, those balls will find the back of the net. The Wildcats broke through late after the first minute goal by Oliat. Knox breaks through in the 34th minute to give the Wildcats a 2-0 lead. Still really everything to play for, though. It's not like this game's completely out of reach. If the Eagles coming out of halftime are able to nick one early, do a good job of continuing to play defense that maybe bends but doesn't break, maybe the Eagles climb back into this one.
We'll see what happens here as the second half is just about ready to kick off. The Wildcats will have possession wearing their home blue going left to right. They will be going into a fairly significant breeze, although it's not quite as harsh as it was Monday night in Eastview. The Eagles of Apple Valley wearing their road whites going right to left. That one headed high into the air. Prouty attempts to bring it down, and he does. Tried to get it to Sondag. I'm almost positive he was offside. Is Oliat offside? No, he isn't. Looking for a number early goal. He's got an opportunity, and he got one. The first minute of the game, Oliat scores. The first minute of the second half, he does it again.
Oliat did a great job making his run. He timed it brilliantly. It was a situation where he and some of the other Wildcats have been caught offside 4 times in the first half, but that time he leveled it up just perfectly. It was a beautiful ball. I believe it was from Gentilla, who had come to the inside, if I'm not mistaken. And so that's a second goal from Gentilla by Oliat.
Not quite the same as what we saw in the first half when the pass went across inside the 6 and he was able to just tap it into an open net. But this one, he finds himself all alone. Sanchez Cortez in a really tough position of trying to defend that. He has to come out and challenge, but Oliat had plenty of time, so he had possession and just passed it past him into the corner. The Wildcats nicking goal number 3 here early in the second half, and that makes it a massive mountain for the Eagles to climb.
Number 9, Zayan Oliat. The assist to number 6, Owen Gentilla.
It indeed is. Oliat from Gentilla once again, so we've seen that combination twice now. And a foul called on Eagan, a free kick for the Eagles. That one's cleared nicely by the back line of the Wildcats. Sondag with it, cuts it back nicely. Now he's off to the races. There's a defender on the inside, cutting off that angle. He plays it across. That one's deflected. Sanchez Cortez able to pick that one up. So he was looking for Gentilla coming down the near hash. The middle of the field had Noel, and then the far side was Oliat, who now is looking for a potential hat trick. Those 2 goals give Oliat 8 on the season. That puts him 2 behind the leader, Noel.
Wildcats looking very dangerous on the break here today, and I wonder if part of that is because of the Apple Valley defensive plan to keep the ball, to try to keep a high line. I think Oliat was hard done by there. I don't think he was offside.
Yeah, and we were in a perfect position, so this call is made literally right in front of us. So we're looking down the line. Sondag was offside in the middle. That ball did not go to Sondag. It went to Oliat. I think the ref got confused there because Oliat was onside.
Again,
nice tip there.
Again, don't like to get on the refs too much. They get a lot of calls right, and at the same time, we're blessed with the ability to look at it from up here. And on a football field, as you know, Skip, and everybody at home, on a football field, everything's lined up. There's no question what yard line you're on or anything like that. Sometimes when there are no lines on the field, you do have the parallax effect. You do have some challenges trying to figure out where people are, legs, arms, things like that. But on a football field, it's pretty easy.
Until there's a free kick and a wall formed, then None of the wall can figure out how to mark off 10 yards.
Yes,
on a
isn't that
football field.
amazing?
Yes, it's incredible. A creative opportunity doesn't quite pull off there for Knowles. He tried to flick that one behind him to a streaking Sondag. Good pressure there by Gentilla. Noel Eddy goes down. Foul is called. If you missed the first half, you missed a foul-ridden first half. Tough to keep track of all the tallies, anywhere from 8 to 10 for each side. Perhaps we'll just call it 9 times for each side.
9 times?
9 times. Tesdall lays this one in there nicely. Sanchez coming out. It gets by him. Opportunity here for the Wildcats. Cleared out by the Apple Valley defense. Looked like that was Trek Schinke there to help his goalkeeper out. Quick throw in here. Knowles going to track this one down, but I think it's into touch and another Eagan throw. Once again, we are in the final contest of the South Suburban Conference part of the schedule. The Wildcats already clinching first place, so congratulations to Eagan. Goal number 1 accomplished. They do have a non-conference game tomorrow night at 7 o'clock right here on Eagan TV against St. Thomas Academy. A final tune-up before sections begin next Tuesday for both the boys and the girls. Of course, we have game 2 of our doubleheader after this one, the girls' version of Eagan versus Apple Valley. This one goes across too far, but Juntilla's there. He's got time, plays it in, a shot just wide and off there by Sondag. Oh, he'd like to have that one back. He was aiming near post, thought he could slip it in the corner.
Love the unselfish play by these Wildcats, sharing the ball so many times. Players in Gentilla's position already with a couple of assists say, you know, I'm going to go to goal on this. I'm going to try to hit it on frame. Instead, he slides it across for a teammate who has a better angle. Doesn't quite come off, but it bodes well for the type of team this is in terms of sharing the ball, loving each other enough to give them the ball, expecting sometimes it's going to come back to you, and sometimes your teammate's going to score.
Another trait that many of these players possess, and I think it speaks to why they have been quite successful this season in finishing their opportunities, is they don't seem to panic when they get the ball in a position where they have an opportunity to put one on frame. I mean, yeah, they're not going to always be successful, but they keep their cool, they keep collected, they keep their heads up looking for teammates, and it just leads to more success. Now, Oliot there, delivered that one too strong, but he kept his head up, he kept it down, and he knew exactly where he wanted to go with that. And just the end result wasn't what he's looking for, but a perfect example of a guy that was completely playing under control.
This will be an interesting 3-3A section, Skip. The Wildcats, as we've talked about, with the number 1 seed. Eagles probably with a home playoff game, a 3 seed or a 4 seed. But yeah, good job, young man, not shooting that ball.
I was just going to say that. He's playing on a yellow card.
If he shoots that ball, I bet he picks up another yellow. He's got to be smart about that.
And that's something that hopefully his teammates and or the coaching staff is reminding him of a couple of times, getting in his ear like, hey, you're playing on a yellow. Just be smart out there. Now, you could do him a favor here in a 3-0 game and maybe end his night a little early. Nice move by Sondag. I believe he won the corner on that. Or not.
That was a curious decision. I think the assistant referee certainly, on this near side, certainly thought that was in a corner. Center referee disagreed, and we play on.
Eagles turn this one over. Gentilla pulls it back. Noel pulls it back as well. Finds Oliot, and there's the hat trick. He's onside. The hat trick is had. The goal is scored in minute number 48. That one coming off the foot of Eric Knoll. The nice pass to Oliot.
Oliot held his ground, held his run perfectly there. The assistant referee and center referee talking to make sure that everyone was onside. Of course, this happened very close to the technical area on the Apple Valley end, so the Apple Valley coaches also had a good look at it. But a nice job that time by Knoll teeing it up and sending it early. I mean, there's only so long that a player can hold his run before he has to, his momentum's just going to carry him into an offside position, or that the moment will be gone. But that time, it was brilliant.
We talked about the patience when given the opportunity. It was seen there again. Oliot finishing that opportunity. We will see a lot of players there. They try to hit it too hard. They panic a little bit, they get excited, and they ended up blasting it over the net, or they kick it right into the goalkeeper, Sanchez Cortez, once again kind of caught in no man's land. I know he's given up 4 tallies on the score sheet, but I'm here to tell you, folks, Sanchez Cortez has played a great game. This could easily be 7, maybe even 8 goals. And foul called on Eagan. We're going to have a free kick here for Apple Valley as they're trying to get on the board. That one's taken by Snyder. Back to Hernandez Perez. Gets through that double team over to Snyder. He's going to play it near side. Rincon Nova. Take the shot, looking for far corner. Got too much of it. So we've talked about the girls coming up next. We've finishing off their season. We've talked about the boys of the game tomorrow. Let's also look ahead another day. What's on tap for us Friday night?
Yeah, major preview, big news here on ETV. The Wildcats, the 3-2 Eagan Wildcats, will be hosting the Farmington Tigers in a section game that will determine almost certainly their section ranking for this upcoming playoff run. In case you've missed it, the Wildcats, after a number of years of challenge and struggle as Sondag had strayed into an offside position, the Wildcats, after years of struggle and challenge rebuilding the program, the latter crew and Coach Nick Johnson have got this program back where it really needs to be and ought to be. Doing a great job of competing. Of course, last week losing by 3 points, only 3 points, and to Lakeville North, the number one team in the state. So a big game this Friday. It is homecoming here against Farmington. Lots of homecoming festivities in the high school this week. So, in fact, we had Powder Puff football last night, and the juniors beat the seniors in Powder Puff football, just as what happened last year. So this group of seniors as juniors beat the seniors last year. A little salty, probably, the juniors.
And there's another goal. The Wildcats pouring it on here right at the beginning of minute number 51. This one's turned lopsided in a hurry.
And forgive me, Skip, I didn't mean to talk over your touchdown call there, so to speak. I couldn't even tell you who made that pass. It was right out of my line of vision, but that finish by Knoll is just so smooth. It's so composed.
Goal 11 from 1-0, yes, running time on the kickoff.
So that one's Eric Knoll. The pass coming from Miklo Jones. Now, Oliot coming into the game with 6 goals. His hat trick here today gives him 9. And Eric Knoll thinking, all right, he's only 1 behind, so I better get 1 more. Gets his season tally up to 11, maintaining that 2-goal lead on the team. Foul call. We're going to have a Wildcat free kick. So the football team, you said they're 3-2. I know they lost just by a field goal to the number 1 team in the state. Correct me if I'm wrong. They lost the season opener to Edina, who either was at the time or still is ranked as well.
Yes, absolutely. Edina in the top 5 as well. Actually, they're in the top 10, I think, now. But at the time, they were ranked 2nd in the state. And so the football team, the way it works is you play basically your section opponents with a few additional games cross-section. As the not going to be an offside flag there. We thought there might be, but there's not. Now, is there or is there not? Do we have a foul?
I think Knoll knew he was offside, and that's why he stopped and let Oliot take it. And I'm not sure what the whistle was actually for.
So the assistant referee and the referee conferring at the 50-yard line.
Let's bring it up just a little bit.
Clock is stopped.
We're gonna have a yellow
card.
And who's this on? Number 20 of the Apple Valley Eagles, Santiago Olivo. coming in
Zoom into one of the white players.
minute number 52.
Caution is on Apple Valley.
Okay. It'll get
For
dark.
20. That's true, yeah.
I was curious. I'm not sure exactly why play would be stopped. I guess it was a foul, and the referee, the center referee, was allowing it to play on. Advantage didn't develop, and the assistant referee called him over to say, okay, you need to not only award a free kick, but a booking as well. Interesting combination there. We'll have to go back and look at the tape.
Yeah,
see if we can see what happened.
Apologize. That was so far behind the play. Neither one of us caught exactly what happened there.
We'll resume with a free kick.
But in any event, to finish the thought on football, big game, big homecoming game, probably the biggest in, and maybe in the history of the school. Is a brilliant bicycle attempt by Oliot. He already has a hat trick, Skip. He darn near went 4 for 4.
That was exciting stuff, and unlike many of those attempts where they don't go anywhere near the target, that one was actually on goal. Now, he didn't get the power that he needed or the placement, but Oliot clearly feeling it today.
And then if you could just take over his
And that's the time to do something like that when you're up 5-0. You've already scored 3 goals, and you've got plenty of space. You don't have to worry about accidentally kicking someone in the head.
Despite the fact that he is playing on a yellow card, as long as he just is careful, he's like you said, Skip. He's feeling it. Kind of want to keep him out there.
Oh, a nice interception there by Prouty. Trying to feed Sondag. It's one-on-one. Pass just too far to the middle. The defender was in the right position. Little shove from behind. Interesting choice in the box. I think that one's going to be a goal kick. I think it went off the defender, then off of Sondag.
And then you can zoom back in now. Okay.
Or are they calling a foul on Sondag?
The referee is calling a foul. I can't tell if.
Wildcats, free kick.
I sure hope that's not a foul on Sondag. How he's in the possession of the ball? How in the world can you call a foul on him? I certainly didn't see anything that looked like a foul.
Unless there was something that we didn't catch, and that's why he got pushed in retaliation, maybe. I don't know.
Very curious.
Yeah, that was interesting. 26 minutes. Actually, we're at 27 minutes left. Sorry about that.
And running time, so even if there's a goal scored here by the Wildcats, we will keep the clock rolling.
And that's true as long as it's a 5-goal differential. Is that correct?
5-goal differential here in the second half. Yep, running time. And that is I believe that is a South, I heard, we checked on this a few games ago. I think that is a South Suburban Conference rule.
I know when I was calling some basketball games last winter, was not aware of the running clock when the lead was at a certain point in the second half, and that catches you off guard when the ball goes out of bounds and all of a sudden the clock keeps going. You're like, hey, wait, what's going on? They're shooting a free throw and the clock's still running, but in an attempt to speed things up when things are a bit out of hand.
Important now for these Wildcats to stay healthy, not have any issues. The 2-0 halftime lead now is ballooned to 5-0. So really the outcome of the game really not in doubt anymore.
And with the game tomorrow night, this is where I'm clearing the bench if I'm the head coach and letting my starters get a little bit of an extended rest. Smart decision there by Brunette. Gentilla, a couple assists tonight. This is Knoll, scored his team-leading 11th goal just a few minutes ago. Here comes DeLuca. Noel Eddy with some nice defense, playing that one into touch. Holder McHale on the throw.
It's a good sign for the Wildcats that despite their ahead, being leading by 5 goals, they are still very quick. No one's sitting back. Everyone is very quick to get this ball or to press on defense, Skip, and that's, part of that's the mentality of the team, but also it's the character of the individuals involved. They're not taking it easy. They're not taking anything for granted. And frankly, it's senior night. You shouldn't take anything for granted. We saw a number of seniors, honored at halftime, and we are at the end of For the girls, this is their last game of the regular season. For the boys, they have one more game tomorrow night here at Wildcat Stadium. But the reality of it is that it goes by so fast, and that they should enjoy every moment of it.
Yeah, speaking as a parent of 2 kids that have already graduated through this Eagan soccer program, I can tell you the finality starts to hit you as you get into October and you realize, okay, the outcome of this game doesn't matter. We've got a game tomorrow. That one probably doesn't matter either. But then all of a sudden you get into sections and you realize this can be it. At any given moment, it's one bad game, one bad break or whatever, and your season's over, your career is over, and no more soccer games.
A lot of these kids, a lot of these players on these top teams like Eagan, both on the boys and girls side, have the ability to play maybe club soccer, sometimes even college soccer, for Division III, Division I programs, Division II, all over the state, all over the area, Upper Midwest. But so many of them won't, right? So many of them, for them, this is it. And of course, so many of these kids have played club soccer for 10 years or 12 years together, starting on the fields out near Blue Cross Blue Shield, kicking the ball around, picking dandelions, looking for juice boxes after every practice. And now they're adults.
Yes, the U6, U7 days over at Blue Cross Blue Shield. And I remember coaching those days fondly, and sometimes a little bit of frustration when you realized it was time for a water break as soon as the fire truck went by. All right, here's Noel looking for one again. He's got 2 guys on his right. He passes it across, kind of a cross/shot, but that's Sanchez Cortez with the save. Oh, and he gets tripped in the penalty area. That is going to be a penalty shot coming. We'll see who takes this now. An important, and we're going to have a card. I don't understand how he could possibly be arguing this. That seemed like an obvious trip.
Yeah, the first one, I understand Noel saying, hey, I think it was taken down. There was some contact. It wasn't the worst in the world. To be honest with you, I didn't think it was all that bad. But the second trip, as you say, I don't know how in the world you could have a problem with what happened there as Noel spins off and heads towards goal. He's clearly tripped. I mean, I think the Apple Valley fans, Eagan fans, everyone knew what was going on and everyone saw it.
I think the argument that's being had here by Caleb Kiefer, I believe he's got one of the captain's armbands on, is that perhaps the Wildcats were offside and that never should have happened. So that could be the argument. It's not on the call itself. It's that this never should have gotten there, as it will be. Noel is going to be asked to finish this off. The penalty coming.
The penalty kick, Eric Noel.
And he does so. So Noel, second goal in a row, team leading 12th, and it's 6-0. The Wildcats comfortably ahead with 22-22 on the clock.
I want to say thanks to our award-winning ETV crew, executive producer Josh Sibley, director Nick Mudd, camera work by Derek Badger and Max Hellemuller. Thanks so much for making us look and sound so good here on ETV. You guys are, and your crews are absolutely a city treasure. I will call you guys a city treasure.
Forward again. This one should be off, and it is.
That's offside is the ball.
Oliat's got his arms, palms to the sky, but again, we are in the perfect position to see that, and he was at least 2 yards past the last defender, so a good call.
The only person in the entire stadium that thought Oliat was onside was Oliat. Everybody else, blue, green, silver, white, brown, doesn't matter what color you're wearing, everybody else knew that he was off.
Long ball for Sunday goes into touch.
Wildcat Soccer Boosters would like to thank their platinum sponsors this season for both boys and girls High School Soccer and Saris, Chips Pickleball Club, Eagan Hockey Association, Twin Cities Orthopedics, the Willie Team at Edina Realty, and Wave Soccer. Thank you so much to all of these platinum sponsors for supporting our program as we come down to the end of the 2024 season.
I was going to say the slide tackle was played in touch. I don't know how he thought that throw was his, but or it is. So the center ref saw the same thing he did. So it must have deflected that one off of Brunette. I did not see that live, but center was directly on top of that.
Wildcat Soccer boosters for both the boys and girls would also like to thank their gold sponsors: Birchwood Dental, Raising Canes, Coldwell Banker and Rami Cormont, Dermatology Consultants, Eagan Arms, Eagan Football Association, Escape With Us Vacations, Homestead Auto, Salvo Soccer Club, Teresa's, Triple Diamond Sports Cars and Collectibles, and the Urgency Room. Thank you very much for your support of Wildcat Soccer this season.
That one is blocked. That shot was Izar Hernandez. He is the leading scorer for the season for the Eagles with 6 goals and 3 assists. Santiago Olivo, number 20, right behind him with 5 and 3.
That might have been right there. That ball coming over Rojas's head and out into touch. Skip I think that was it. By my count, that's the second shot that the Eagles have had this half. Combine that with maybe 3 or 4 shots in the first half. They're in single digits for shots, not shots on goal, Skip, single digits for shots. I've only got them with 1 shot on goal in this game, and that's just not going to get it done.
And only maybe 1 really good scoring chance. I think they had one where they were bringing it down the left, and they cut it back in right and just, skied it over, but there's a push from behind. It's amazing to me when the 2 arms are fully extended that players actually get away with that. It's so obvious. But play resumes here, and here's Noel. He's going to leave that one for Sanchez Cortez.
I think Noel was in an offside position. It sure looked like it from here.
19 minutes to go here in this one.
A lot of one-way traffic here for these boys, but again, a real celebration of our seniors, and hopefully you guys all enjoyed that halftime ceremony. A lot of these seniors have put in a lot of time.
Oh, a nice pass across. Sondag, his touch is too heavy.
Well, Noel has to be saying, Jake, what are you doing, man? I set the table, man. You've got to eat what I'm serving.
Noel really does a nice job with that outside of his right foot pass and touch. Delivers those quite frequently, as he did there. Here's an opportunity maybe for the Eagles. Rojas misplays it just a little bit, but did a nice job shielding that off. Really no opportunity for Apple Valley to get a shot. As you can see over by the center flag, there'll be several substitutions coming here.
And I think as we approach this 17-minute mark, and now they'll come 18-minute mark, we're going to empty the bench. I think this means just about everybody's been on the field or will be on the field for the Wildcats.
Knox, number 3, and Paulson, number 20. Eddie Couture Valencia, number 16.
Couture Valencia,
Apple Valley.
Colin Bray,
Ariano Hernandez, number 12.
Harley Gray. Just 3 of the Wildcats that have entered. We'll get the rest. I believe
Gerardo Ray Martinez.
there are a couple others as well. We'll call them out as we catch them. Knox, one of them. That was him right there. Tapa brings that one back.
Number 7.
Oh, a nice pass inside, and I believe he not only was offside, but then he played it up off his own arm.
Yeah, the assistant referee got that right. Absolutely, he was in an offside position. Think about, Skip, and our viewers have heard us say this, so I'll say it one more time this season.
Another yellow card.
Is that for Axelrod?
Yep, he put that one into the net afterwards, and that is a no-no.
Well, it's a no-no. It's also a head scratcher. What are you doing, man? I mean, Axelrod's got to be smarter than that. The guys need to, players need to maintain their composure and be smart about these kinds of things. And it's not just, I'll just put the ball over here and burn a few seconds. It's already running time. The game is already gone. Okay, there's no reason to antagonize anyone or risk a red card, a second yellow card, or anything like that. We've had players, Skip, you and I have called games where we've had players who score goals and take off their shirt and then get sent off. And then what ends up happening is the other team manages to come back and even the score, right?
Yes, we have seen that.
And your one of your captains, your seniors who should be on the field playing defense is over on the bench because of the yellow card. And so we need to, the Wildcats need to be smart about this. And to be fair, if Coach Boutali needs to yell at the boys about something, he can yell at them about that stuff, right? He can really bust their chops about it.
So now Axelrod and Oliot playing on yellow cards. Of course, Oliot has the hat trick and is on the bench, and I'm guessing his night is done as Knox was just a step offside on that one. A good call. Graham Johnson, number 5, into the game. Nice play by Tapa there. Toro Valencia pulls that one back, goes across. Noel tried that behind the back pass again and just bounced it off of Ray Martinez.
It will be exciting to watch this Eagan boys team go through the playoffs. As we've talked about, Skip, getting past the quarterfinals has been so hard for them for several years.
Well, and I think the game you were mentioning was a semifinal game where they had the victory, the 1-goal game, and then they gave up the tying goal after the yellow card and lost in a shootout to a Rosemount, if memory serves.
That's correct.
And that team was a good team. They were conference champions. They were poised to get to the state tournament that year. It was very disappointing for those of us following the squad, as we hope to see this one make up for that this year and then some. Looks like Noel Eddy's gonna step off the pitch. His night probably coming to an end.
Substitution of both teams. The Wildcats, number 12,
Ryder Brandner coming in. Definitely a less of a rotation at that back line, but that's pretty common with teams. You get a solid 4 on your back line, and usually you have 1 or 2 guys rotate in, but it's not the rotation that you'll see at midfield and forward where you want to keep guys fresher. The defense typically has a little more opportunity to catch their breath and catch their legs. Another outside of the foot delivery there off of Noel. That one doesn't quite connect.
Think of the depth, though. Think of the depth of this squad. I mean, Skip, we're in 6-0 running time with less than 14 minutes to go, and we've got Knox and Axelrod and Noel and Katora Valencia. I mean, we've got guys who are starting. I mean, these players could be starting on virtually any high school team in the state.
Slide unsuccessful. Cross deflected out. That was Caleb Genjang with that slide. He's playing on a yellow card as well.
He is. I was just going to say the same thing, Skip. He's got to be very careful there. I mean, it was a legitimate play on the ball, no question, but you have to be careful. Because if you don't get it right, if you slide through someone's legs, even if you take a piece of the ball, but if your trail leg cleans someone out, that's a bookable offense.
Sian Tapa heads to the bench. His night coming to an end. Down to the final 13. Here is Rojas. Takes that one and delivers it back up the pitch. So as we wind down the South Suburban Conference portion of this boys' schedule and end this one, no doubt, with a resounding Wildcat victory, we do want to remind people that the girls' game is coming up next, and their senior night presentation is in between the 2 games. So we will, I believe, go straight to that after this one is finished. Looks like the Eagles are going to switch up their goalkeepers. Not much Adrian Sanchez-Cortez could do about this one. He made several really nice saves, especially in the first half. Looks like he's going to get a break early as Armando Reyes-Mina is out at the center flag, ready to come in. Mason Axelrod with that throw. He's checked back into the game. Just joining the varsity squad a couple games ago.
Substitution for Apple Valley, a change at the goalkeeper position for the Eagles. Onto the field is Armando.
Well, for the Eagles, and we've seen this a couple of times this season, Skip, where the team coming in to play the Wildcats has ended up on the end of a lopsided score. In this situation, I don't think there's any question. The Eagles have some athletes. They play physical. They've got a good strategy for playing a high back line, but just too much firepower for the Wildcats. And the Eagles need to regroup. And their next game is going to be a quarterfinal game next week in 3-3A. They need to regroup. They're going to be taking on a team that they will have almost certainly a home game, whether they're a 3 or a 4 seed. So they need to take care of business and then see how things go moving forward. But this is an opportunity for them to kind of take stock and say, okay, now we need to reset. We need to not believe any press clippings and just need to play soccer against in 3-3A.
Foul called here on the Wildcats. That has been one of the nicer changes here in the second half. Fewer fouls called. First half was foul-ridden. A lot of stoppages, kind of a difficult half from a flow perspective. This one's flowed much better. Knox plays that one over for Katora Valencia. Johnson trying to flick that one onto Gray. This is Johnson. Got 2 Wildcats offside.
Well, Knox did a good job there of recognizing he was in an offside position. He waits and stops. You can see him moving his arms around to say, Graham, just play that a little faster or a little different, and we'll have better success.
Surprised to see Knoll still in the game. Not sure if that's because they've just run out of players on the bench or if maybe they're trying to get him his hat trick. Oh, there's a nice delay and speed move. Tried one more, but well defended there by the Eagles.
I think Eric Knoll would certainly like to get a hat trick.
He's had at least one other multiple goal game that I can think of. Most recently, just a week ago. I believe he had one earlier this season as well.
Yeah, for this, you look at postseason honors for this Wildcat team. Again, winning the conference means postseason first team and honorable mention for a good number of them. And you look at all-state honors as well. I would imagine Knoll would be in that conversation. Imagine a player like maybe Sondag in that conversation. Tapa from the outside back position. So the Wildcats might be, especially if they're able to get to the state tournament, they might be looking at 2 or 3 all-state players.
Well, this is a great move, and he feeds it in. The hat trick is there. Eric Knoll, absolutely devastating move there to get by his defender. The Wildcats tack on the extra point here. 7-0, the goal scored in minute number 72.
Well, Skip, the Wildcats, I think it's fair to say, are not screwing around. This is not a, hey, we're just going to win this game and kind of see through the end. They're continuing to bring it. I have to say, I like it. I mean, not because I want them to run up the score against an inter-district opponent or anything like that, but what I do like is they're staying sharp, they're staying focused, they're treating it like every single time they touch the ball, the season's on the line, and I like that. I mean, that's good to see. It'll bode well in the playoffs, Skip.
Yes, I was just going to say that's the kind of mentality they need when they get to next week, and any letdown can be the end of your season. Another opportunity just behind Knox. I think he actually expected to turn around and see another Wildcat right there ready to slam that one home. He kind of looked like, wow, I can't believe there was no one there.
That's his third goal of the game, number 11, Eric Noel.
I think that one was actually off of the Eagles, but I don't blame the refs for missing that. It was subtle. We had a better view than they did.
So just like Seehafer, the Seehafer-Leitenberg show last week, we have a double hat trick, Skip. I mean, that's powerful stuff.
Those of you looking to catch a little bit of that show, get that right here tonight. And at the conclusion of this game, we'll go right into the girls' senior night, and then after that, there'll be a short break before we start up the second part of our doubleheader, the girls Wildcats playing the Apple Valley Eagles as well. That will be their final game, both in the South Suburban Conference and the regular season.
Southwest corner of the track, and the southwest corner of the field.
And we will be keeping track of the Lakeville South, Lakeville North game, as you see a foul there against the Wildcats. But we will be keeping track of the Panthers and Cougars down in Lakeville to see how South does. Certainly the Panthers will be looking. They will definitely not want South to win that game. A, because it's South, and B, because they don't want to be the team that gives South a conference title. I guarantee you the Panthers want to win that game.
Nice job winning that out of the air, but heading it right into his teammate. There's a left foot shot wide.
Yeah, just not enough offense for these Eagles today. I mean, they've you're looking back at some of their statistics. They've not scored a lot of goals this season, Skip, but they've scored enough. They've scored enough goals, and again, their 8-4-3 record suggests that they've done well offensively, but right now, just not enough cohesion, not enough teamwork in the offensive third. This might have something to do with the fact that the Wildcats defensively are just strong and fast.
Yeah, you took those words right out of my mouth. I was going to say that the Wildcats back line has played exceptionally well. And typically when a goal is allowed by the Wildcats, it's just one minor, kind of a situation where the team loses its mental focus for just a few seconds and it costs a team. None of that so far here tonight, and of course we're down to the last 5 minutes as that free kick is played in and then out of the penalty area in front of the Wildcat goal. This one's long, and this one should be onside. I believe he was on his half of the field when the ball was played, but Reyes Mina comes out of the box. We had that goalkeeper change a few minutes ago for Apple Valley.
Yeah, good. Thanks for coming up.
Bray steps into that one, tries to play it down the middle, looking for Knox. The Wildcats have been able to put on a clinic offensively, counterattacking almost at will. Every opportunity they've had, they've seemed to have turned it into odd man rushes, and when it's an even rush or numbers down, they're still able to create space, move the ball around, and create great scoring opportunities. And of course, 7 goals, one of them on a penalty. They've been able to finish many opportunities.
Oh, he went down.
My broadcast partner, Nathan, one of the proud parents of a senior girl, Kate Cron. So he has gone down to the pitch to be a part of that ceremony. Again, can be a bit emotional for the parents and even the players, perhaps. So always a nice thing for these families to go through. Nice throw there by Axelrod into Gray. Good step up by again, Jing. Brander over to Knox. Sliding through is Sanchez Diaz. Into touch on the far side as we begin the 78th minute. That pass is deflected and nearly stolen. I believe that's Axelrod. He needs to be cautious. He's playing on a yellow. Deflects that one. The pressure continues here. Knox plays that one in. Good choice by Graham Johnson to lay off there. No need to be overly aggressive with a 7-goal lead. Bray taps that one, but straight to Apple Valley, and we're going to have a stoppage on the foul there as one of the Apple Valley players went down.
Wildcats, free kick for Apple Valley.
Caleb Kiefer plays that one. It goes all the way through. I don't believe that deflected off anyone of significance, and a goal kick will be the result here for the final 2 minutes. I'll give you the game recap here as we finish up so we can go straight to that ceremony for the Eagan girls. Wildcats got on the board quickly. They came out, fired up, scored a goal in the first minute. The first of 3 by number 9, Zayon Oliat. Again, minute number 1, the assist going to Owen Gentilla. Just a beautiful feed across the mouth of the goal inside the 6. It was an easy tap in for Oliat. And got a foul called there on the Wildcats.
You could iris up just a little bit here. Okay.
The next goal, minute number 34. That was Darius Knox. That was a header off a throw-in from Hannon Axelrod, redirected perfectly into the far corner.
Yeah, that's good.
And that's where we stood at halftime, 2-0. Here's the free kick. Tesdall goes high, wins that one clean. Valencia clears it farther out to midfield, but Apple Valley possesses, and then that one goes off the Wildcats. More contact, no call. Johnson plays it through. He was just a step offside. Knox looking for the breakaway. Then the second half started, and the second half picked up right where the first half left off. It was Oliat, again, from Gentilla in the first minute of the second half. Oliat got his hat trick in minute number 48, assist from Eric Knoll. Then Eric Knoll got on the scoreboard, minute number 51, assist to number 10, Miklo Jones. Knoll got his second goal in minute number 58. That was off a penalty. And then his third goal, also the hat trick, minute number 72. So both Knoll and Oliat with the hat tricks here tonight. And that is how we got to the final score, 7-0. The Wildcats already having clinched the South Suburban Conference. Now they've put no doubt that they are the number 1 seed in Section 3A. For Nathan Cron, my name is Skip Newton. Thank you so much for watching Eagan Boys Soccer here on Eagan TV. Thank you so much to the crew. Congratulations to, again, the Wildcats, once again, South Suburban Conference champs. They will be back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock to play against St. Thomas Academy. And now we will turn it over to the public address announcer, Dave, as he will bring you the girls' senior night. Eagan Varsity girls will be back for that game in just a little bit. Thank you, everyone.